Is it an inherited disease then?
50-50 chance. The each, as I understand it,
Yeah.
each little gene in our chromosomes, in our DNA, has got to come. Each bit's either got to come from the mother or the father. There's the same little bit in us, and so either the little bit comes from the father or it comes from the mother, and then you end up in your DNA with this little bit from the one or the other. And as it happened, my father inherited that little bit from, as we know now, his father, who died before the symptoms appeared. And every child born to a mother or father affected by Huntington's has got that 50-50 chance.
How did it affect your life after your father's death, then, in relation to this illness?
After my father's death, well, my wife says, and she's a very sober person, she says that it took me 6 years to get over it. And I'm very much aware, to get over the shock, of knowing what it is and of all we'd been through. And I know independently this is true because, you know, I kept in touch with a lot of people from that time in my life, which in the sort of my 20s, and I know that I owe a tremendous amount to their care and help, that I didn't go bonkers, which happens.
But you made the decision not to have children.
We
yourself.
made the decision not to have children, and
but also not to be tested yourself.
yes, not to have children, because if you've seen a father or mother with it, you wouldn't want a child of your own to see that happening, apart from the possibility of being at risk from it. And also, my wife and I decided not to have the test because we decided not to have children. Obviously, if you're going to have children, there's a tremendous incentive. But when we got married, there was no test. There was no test till we'd been married best part of, you know, certainly 10, 15 years. But we still feel better, in my case, not to be tested, because I worked out with my wife a way of coping with this, and the way I learnt to cope with a 50-50 risk, right? And
you still do.
I still do. I still do until, you know, until I'm taken out feet first. I do, and I mean, it's not. I'm not saying it's much fun to cope with, but I've learnt that, and I am not sure that I could learn to cope either with no risk if I were in the clear, or with 100% certainty if I were that way. For me, I think probably both would be very bad. So I cope with the 50-50.